really feels good to be back reviewing another Dragon Ball Super episode after 2 weeks. The last episode was 2 weeks ago, and I can say that I was very harsh on the last few episodes of Dragon Ball Super, and I feel like I have the rights to, because the writing was very, very, very poor. I'm sorry. But how was this episode? Now let's go and review it, and let's start with the title. Limits Super Surpassed, Ultra Instinct Mastered. So of course this episode recapped on everything what happened on the last one, and I don't know why, but it felt really long. Maybe it wasn't because I just watched it live, maybe it was just normal, but it really felt long, especially by knowing that, hey, we are about to see one hell of a fight. At least we think. So yeah, it starts out Goku versus Jiren, and immediately Whis points out that it's the same as with the Kefla or Kafla's fight, and Goku is still thinking a bit when he is attacking. So that is preventing him from really having any decisive attack on Jiren. It kinda makes sense, it is just leading up to something. You can see that the episode starts very well. They are already having a useful conversation there, or they are having somebody there just explaining to you what is going on and actually really giving you hints on how the episode is going to go. This is what I call good writing. This is what you really need on such episodes. Really something to get you more excited. And it's not just all about fight, cool scene, but actually some usual pretty good stuff are happening outside of the fight. The episode is being very well directed, at least from the first minutes of the episode. The animation wise, not really the best one. The beginning was pretty meh, I could say, but storyboard was actually amazing. And from the fight you could see that they really took the Dragon Ball Z approach by relying more on the effects and really not having many close-ups. So that is something that saves time. So I appreciate it. I have already said last week when we got the extended preview that this episode was going to be an episode that will rely more on the effects than on the actual animation of the fight. I predicted that we wouldn't be seeing so much movement from the characters, and exactly that happened. Not due to who was working on the episode, but actually it just gave that vibe. So I'm not against it. It doesn't break the episode for me. If you like the Dragon Ball Z animation when it comes to the fighting, you can't really go against these things, because Dragon Ball Z used to do this all the time. But still, the episode continues with Goku already charging up the Kamehameha, and it was basically the same strategy that he used versus Kefla. So he didn't really he understood the problems, the physical problems that Ultra Instinct gave to him, and this is what I was saying, this is what I kept saying on all the Ultra Instinct videos that I have made. I always pushed the fact that they are showing this, they are giving Goku Ultra Instinct more than you would expect him to get, just because they want to slowly build it up and not just actually rush into it like they have done with all the other forms. And this is something that I actually appreciated, not only from the fact that this was hinted ever since the Resurrection F arc back at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, but more from when we saw it. They actually told us that, hey, this is not easy, even for a fighting protege with a lot of experience like Goku. So they kinda did that well, and I appreciate it. It had good writing, something that really you want to see and you actually enjoy. a story. Ultra Instinct has a story behind it, and this is something that you can't really say for the whole arc. But as it goes, for the Ultra Instinct, yes, they have handled it perfectly up until this point. Did they continue with it on the episode? Well, we'll find out. So basically, Jiren is able to block it and actually blast Goku, just like we saw on the episode itself. And you know, the tension is there, and I was actually thinking there that, hey, this is time for the shirtless Goku this early on the episode. But we see Goku actually flying there, and everyone goes like, okay, it's over. But somebody's not giving up. And you do know who that somebody is. Can you guess? Well, yeah, while Belmont was celebrating, Vegeta chills them out. He was sure that Goku was going to master Ultra Instinct. He was sure. He explains this is how the science work, the science pride, the fact that Goku has to keep that promise that he made to Vegeta is going to push Goku further to master Ultra Instinct, and that is why Goku can't lose here. And it is something very good. Finally, something that Vegeta does that it doesn't come as cliche. Yes, I know that promise is really mentioned again. Kobe shows up again. But this time the writing is different. It is Vegeta's emotions, or the way how Vegeta is talking, it just comes differently. And this is what I appreciated. This is not something that we have overseen. It's new. It's interesting. I like that. And this is, of course, something that we really should keep in mind, that these guys have the potential to do something good, but they are really lazy and they showed no respect whatsoever to the show itself. But more on this when Dragon Ball Super finishes as a whole and only 2 episodes left, which kinda makes me really sad because despite all the problems I'm gonna miss it. But let's finish it. Belmont starts to freak out because he's kind of aware how the signs are working. So I'm sorry, I'm still sick. 2 weeks. So yeah, he starts to freak out. As I was saying, he understood how the signs work, and he freaks out and tells Jiren to finish him off. And Jiren really wants to do it, but still, Goku is able to hold off. As you can see, there is despair, you don't see, but he's able to hold it off. He is actually working. His heart is pumped, and this is what you want. I keep repeating this, but this episode really nailed the writing part, which for me still stands as the most important thing that an episode can bring. It's not all about the animation, the cool looking fights. I take a good written episode over than a good looking episode anytime, and this is one of the case. This stands to me as one of the best Dragon Ball Super episodes. But still, Goku, with the episode, Goku is still not managing to turn the tables, but he's holding off pretty well. And you can see that something is different. Something is really different. While everyone is panicking out there, Beerus goes on to tell them to shut up. Absolutely. Beerus is, I don't want to say he's enjoying it, but he's way too focused on that. He is actually trying to observe what Goku is doing, which once again really comes to a good writing. Something different, as you don't just have everyone going like, oh my god, Goku, Goku, oh my god, Goku. You don't have that. You actually have 3 people there on Vegeta, Whis, and Beerus actually making sense and actually truly observing the fight. They are truly watching the fight. They are playing us, and they are explaining things as they go through. It's like Beerus was like, you know, when you're watching something and everyone is out there just talking, blah blah blah, this is happening, oh this is happening, and you go like, just shut up, let me watch it. That's how Beerus was, which is still a very nice thing to be done. But once again, Goku is who brought a barrier trying to protect himself from the Jiren's attacks. You can see that he's kinda struggling, or more like he's trying to do something different. This is something that really comes down to how they want to write it. They give themselves two options. It's either Goku is struggling, it is giving you that idea, but still at the same time it's giving you the idea that, hey, he's trying to do something. So Goku blasts Jiren right through his guts after you see that. And you can see that Goku is getting even more amazing. The fight goes on, but now the interesting thing is that you see Goku actually fighting with his eyes closed. He is trusting his instincts more and more. They are trading blows with Jiren, but you see that Goku is holding his eyes closed. His instincts are doing the job. Of course, it's still not there yet, but here is where I'm talking about the build-up. This episode, yes, had some conversations, but not a lot and not really many unnecessary ones. This episode was clearly perfect, built up for the last thing that was going to happen. We all knew where this was going. You could see that they were showing Whis, and Whis was giving, really, he was just smiling more and more. You could see his mouth really changing, and that was telling us something. Hey, this Goku is doing something differently. And as Jiren, Belmont starts to freak out, right? Just tells Jiren, finish him off, blah blah blah, go and use your full power. Jiren goes and uses his full power, and as he's trying to finish off Goku with a huge ki blast, you can see that he's using a lot more of his power than he used before. He's using a lot of power, and this is something that is telling us, is giving the power scalers more freedom to actually talk about this and break it down, which is an amazing thing. And I'm talking, this episode was a greatness. As I was saying, he is trying to charge his ki blast, throws it at Goku. There is an explosion, right? There is an explosion. Something different is happening. Something very weird, right? You see how fast Goku is. He goes behind Jiren, literally behind, and Beerus goes like, he did it. He's finally reached it. Whis goes like, yes, only that, just a yes. And Beerus says, geez, he really is something else. That form, that brightness, it is truly completed Ultra Instinct, as they are showing Ultra Instinct to us. Apparently Goku lost his shirt, probably maybe due to being that fast. I don't really have any kind of explanation for that, because from the first time watching it, I didn't see him lose it. That's all what I can say. Jiren didn't blast him. That's all what I can say. I will rewatch it, of course, the moment it comes out. I didn't see, but yes, those little moments, actually those were big ones. The episode itself, if you ask me to rate it, I give it 9 out of 10. It was that good. This rating I only gave to 110, and I'm giving it to this episode. It wasn't as gorgeous like 116, for example. Nowhere near as beautiful as that looking. It had a lot of reused animation, storyboard, and the way how the episode was directed, very well. props to them. They managed to actually turn it into a pretty decent episode. Not the best one, best looking, as I'm saying again. I don't give a shit about how the episode looks when it comes to the episode actually having good writing. And this episode had all the emotions in the world. You could see Jiren having emotions, Goku having emotions, Vegeta having emotions, Whis, Beerus, Belmont, everyone, all kinds of emotions. It really had everything. And I really hope that in 2 weeks we are going to get another very good written episode, which of course is going to be Unprecedented Super Showdown, the ultimate survival battle. So watch out a little bit later for my preview breakdown, because of course we are going to do that on the channel. As I said before, this episode was very well done. Maybe I missed some of the things talking about this episode, but as I said, this was a jam-packed action episode and not actually something that you really want to talk too much about them. So I skipped through many things because I was mostly trying to focus on how good written this episode was. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel with notifications enabled if you don't want to miss out on any further content. Have a great time guys. Bye.